Skylanders is the greatest game to have as a kid. It's got toys, it's got video games combined, also couch co-op, online co-op, pretty much endless fun. 167 unique Skylanders and hundreds to collect. With all of this also came 6 games. Now these are just some of the great qualities about Skylanders as a franchise. But there's also bad things about Skylanders, whether it's from the toys to how they play in game, or maybe the game itself, the mechanics, all of it. Each game has flaws. And so today I bring to you guys the best and the worst thing about Skylanders. Each game, all 6 games, we have Skylanders Spyros Adventure, Skylanders Giants, Skylanders Swap Force, Skylanders Trap Team, Skylanders Superchargers, and Skylanders Imaginators. Yes, the one everybody forgot about. As always, I'm Victor of Saving the Skylands. Let's get into it. So we are going to go in release order. Starting us off, we have Spyros Adventure, and there's a lot of great things about this game, and it still holds up to this day. Yes, the graphics are a little for these days, but hey, it's been almost like 15 years. What do you expect? It kickstarted an entire franchise with 6 console games and like a bunch of handheld 3DS games. But the best thing about this game is the story. Without a doubt, it's the story. It keeps you engaged, and every level adds just a new level of engagement to the story. It has you pulled in the entire time. The whole time you're chasing chaos, you're really racing chaos to get to each element before him. And when he gets to the element, you must fight him along with evil versions of your Skylanders. You have to defeat him and them, and then you get the element. And you do this for all 8 elements. It's just a beautiful story. It's got a great ending. It's got a post-cutscene or post-credit scene, which is perfect and a perfect build-up for Skylanders Giants. But that is the best thing about the game for me. As I go through these, obviously at the end of the video, comment your guys' thoughts on the best and worst thing that you guys think about each game as well. So as for the worst thing, it kind of goes right into with the story and what I said about fighting the evil versions of your Skylanders. But the worst thing, and this was hard because this game is almost like flawless as, as the first one. Like you can't judge it based off the, newer ones because they weren't out yet. So starting off with just Spyros Adventure, the worst thing for me was the fact that we didn't get to fight evil versions of every single Skylander. I would have liked to see that. And I'm not just talking about adding a 4th minion to each of the boss fights, because you only fight 3 of them. I'm talking about a boss fight with minions of your Skylanders for every single element. I have the poster right next to me, and I'm pretty sure we don't fight minions for air, earth, what's the other one? And magic. Magic is so dumb. Magic, you just have to get like some switches and it unlocks, and then all of a sudden it's super easy to get. Air, you just defeat some enemies, and earth, you have to defeat that giant golem. And oh yeah, tech, you don't fight tech either. You have to just take out a tank. See, those would have worked as mini bosses within the level, but I feel like it would have kept you engaged more, knowing that okay, we know we're going after the tech source. We're gonna have to fight an evil, evil Trigger Happy and an evil Drobot and stuff like that. I feel like that would have kept people a little bit more, on edge, and kind of I'd be terrified to face an evil Drobot in SSA. But like I said, it was really hard to find a worst thing about this game. So for me, it's just the fact that you don't face an evil minion of all your Skylanders on the roster. On to Skylanders Giants. Now this one's going to be short and sweet, and I'm not joking. It's SSA Plus. And I'm not saying it's an expansion on SSA. I'm just saying it is SSA, but everything is better. From the controls to the new Skylanders starting to get a little bit more in depth with their moves, the Series 2s, the Giants, the level design, like the things within the levels, the boss fights, just everything about Giants was taken from SSA and just amplified. And it was done so perfectly that I still consider, when people say, hey, what's your favorite game in the Skylanders franchise? Like, I'm like, the best game is Swap Force. But the duo of SSA and Giants, you can't just have SSA, you can't just have Giants. It's SSA and Giants. They are a pair. Hey, you want to remaster them and put them as a little combo? That'd be great for life, for the world. But it is SSA plus. Everything from SSA is better in Giants, and I stand by that. That's the best quality. As for the worst thing about Giants, like I said about SSA, there's really not much. But we have a lack of content problem. And I'm not talking about arena and like the levels themselves and collectibles and stuff like that. No. Adventure packs. We got gypped. There's no adventure packs in Giants. And I know you can play the SSA adventure packs in Giants. And it's cool. They even switched them up a little bit, allows Giants to have some use in them, which is awesome. And it's kind of, they look better as well. It's like a slightly remastered version. It's great. But we didn't get original adventure packs for Giants, and I feel like they really could have capitalized on that. And I'm gonna go in depth for a little bit. All right, you can just stay with me for this little rant. All right, we're gonna time jump to Imaginators. All right, if you guys know anything about the senseis, depending on the element of the sensei, they unlock a realm. Well, now you're pulling you in. All right, now imagine when you put a giant on a portal, it unlocks a level dedicated to that giant. It could be an origin story, it could be where they came from. I think an origin story level would have been perfect for each of the giants because they were the first Skylanders. It would have been so cool to see the team of the first team of Skylanders and how they became Skylanders, or maybe just 2 adventure packs, or if it combined it all and showed how the team got together, or just the origins or the trials that each of the giants had to go through to become Skylanders. That's all though. I mean, that's really pulling a flaw out. I mean, it's not even a flaw about the game. It's just something it's not even missing. It's just not, not there. They just didn't do it. So yeah, lack of adventure packs. There is none. Now on to the best Skylanders game. Now, I say that very loosely, but the best thing about the best Skylanders game is the reason why it's the best. And that is the fact that there's so much content in Skylanders Swap Force. There is so much to do, and I know people complain, oh, the levels are long and the unoriginal levels because they're in groups. I've never understood that. I don't. Do you just have like a bad attention span? I don't know. And I enjoy the 3 levels in each environment because it's like you're going to a world and then you're progressing farther in the world, and then you face the boss, then you go to the new world basically. So I've always enjoyed that. But for content, there's so much content. Whoa, sorry, Mike. From time attacks to score challenges to the arenas, and then there's arenas that you're forced to do to get stars with someone. So you have to play with a friend. And it's fantastic. I don't have any friends to play with. Best I got is Elizabeth, and she's all Skylandered out. But no, there's so much from all the stuff to collect within the levels as normal Skylander stuff. And then they added in charms, which charms are really cool because they add stats to your Skylanders and your team, and hats like usual and stuff like that. But there's so many mini modes within Skylanders Swap Force, from like I said, the score challenges and the time attacks. Also, there's an online leaderboard, which even though Skylanders Swap Force is technically offline, the leaderboards still show up. So I play off PlayStation, so all my PlayStation friends who also played Skylanders Swap Force and did the time attack or the score challenge attack, whatever it's called, their scores are on a leaderboard. And so you can compete against your friends. See, that's just one of the things that are so cool about that game, and you can do that with all the little mini modes. There's actually adventure packs, and they're good. I wouldn't say great, but they're good. I'm trying to remember what they were. Oh, Shipwreck Island and Tower of Time. Yes, they're both good. Not great, but they're good. And then you also have bonus missions, and I haven't even mentioned the fact that there's, what is it, 256 swapper combinations. That basically is 256, I really hope I have that number right, unique Skylanders, because they play completely different depending on how you swap them around. And then you add in the cores, and what is there, probably like 12 new cores, I'm guessing. What is 2 of each element usually? So almost a 300 roster is insane. And they have the little like map thing within the game that shows you which swapper combinations you've put together and tried out. And then, you know, those crazy people out there actually put them all together and fill out that sheet. Couldn't be me. You guys are gonna make me do it, aren't you? I'm looking at you. Yeah, you want me to do it. Too bad, not doing it. Anyways, so that's the best thing about Squad Force, is just that there's so much to do, and I think that's the only game where I've enjoyed 100% completing the game, because it's not just, oh, I have to replay this level again to find this item. No, it's literally like you get bonus missions and all these other things. I could ramble on and on. I love Squad Force. It's great. If you haven't played it, you need to play it today. Now for the worst thing about Squad Force is actually the biggest gripe I have about Squad Force, and I've said it out loud many times, is the fact that, you know, Swappers is probably like one of the coolest, if not the coolest, gimmick in Skylanders history, all the games. But there's lack of reason to use it, other than the fact that it's just neat, okay? Other than curiosity. Let's just sit back. If we were to just play the game to play the game, if I handed it to somebody who never played Skylanders and didn't really care, they just wanted, you know, let me play a video game, they're not even going to think about swapping, because you can play through the entire game and they don't tell you to swap once, other than at the very beginning. I think they mention it with a gate, and I know there's elemental gates, but if you're playing 2-player, you don't need to do it. And if you play 1-player, you don't even need to play the gates. It would have just been cool. I don't know what they could have done. I know they have their little bonus challenge, the little arcadey type thing for each swapper type, like spin and climb and stuff like that. But I mean, actually within the game, it would have been cool to have a purpose, whether it had to do with boss fights or anything like that. I mean, at least Trap Masters were gatekeeped into, you know, elemental gates, which I know we all hate, but we'll get there. Now we're on to Trap Team, the fan favorite. I'm probably the game everybody remembers the most. This was when Skylanders was on top of the world, I would say. I remember seeing the Skylanders Trap Team commercials on TV religiously. Like, they were all over the place. And it was great. And the reason why was because they brought the coolest gimmick ever. Being able to defeat and trap and play as the villains. It's just great. And it's not just you get to play as the villains. You get to play as the classic Chaos. This guy you've been trying to defeat for, actually you have been defeating him for 4 straight games, but he's such an iconic character that when you get to use him for the first time, it was mind-blowing. Your world was complete. Whether you're a little tyke or you were like me, when I first got to, you know, use Chaos, I was like 19 and I had my own money and I just bought the trap. But it was the coolest thing. It's the coolest gimmick in gaming. I mean, I'm gonna be honest, like, not only is Toys to Life a super cool gimmick, and we're not talking about from a parent's perspective, we're talking from the child, who it was aimed for, okay? Toys given to you from your parents for free that do all these things in a game, as well as, I never like played with them, but I know people do, right? Did you? I don't know. But I mean, either way, they have those 2 uses. But then being able to trap and play as the villains that you're actively defeating as well in their own crystal. So technically you kind of have a Skylander of each of the, 46 trappable villains in that game. And then they have like their little quest, and then you get to change how they look, even though they all just get ugly. But hey, it's the best quality, so enjoy it. Now, here is the probably biggest gripe in the whole Skylanders franchise. The fact that Trap Masters, okay, here we go, are called Trap Masters. And their cool quality within the game is to open up elemental gates? What? Huh? How's that work? Who thought of that? Seriously. Like, it actively makes me upset. And, like, I just don't get it. I still don't. Like, Trap Masters. Here, I'll show you how this could have went better. They literally give you a Trap Master in the starter pack. Okay, you get Snapshot, Trap Master. Maybe either don't name him a Trap Master, or if he's a Trap Master, make Trap Master's cool ability the ability to trap someone. So maybe you have to have a Trap Master and a trap on the portal to trap the villains. I think that would have been way more cool, and it would have made the Trap Masters even better than what they are. And also, we would have gotten more use out of the new minis and the cores, because then we wouldn't have to like keep switching when we wanted to open a Trap Master gate, or Trap Master gate. That's pretty much what they're called. So, and the only time you'd really have to switch your Skylander mandatory would be to trap a villain to play as them. But that would make sense though, because the traps, other than a water and a life, weren't given in a starter pack. So it makes sense to do that little extra effort because you bought a different trap. So if you bought a fire trap, it would make sense for you to do the little extra effort and put a Trap Master on the portal to actually trap someone. I don't know, guys. Am I crazy? This just seems like a way better idea.
Ah! What the? What did I do to deserve this? Oh yeah, all that stuff I did. Wow! Who will look after the trophy?
How you doing up there, Flinster?
I think I just ate my own face!
Now we're on to Superchargers, the game that sent the games downhill. No, Superchargers is a wonderful game. Don't get me wrong. If you love the vehicle sections, then it's probably your favorite game in the whole franchise. And if you like easy games, same reason. It's probably your favorite. But is it too much? Maybe that's the worst thing. But we're on the best thing. And the best thing is definitely the vehicles. I mean, you're supercharged. I can still hear the narrator saying supercharged in my brain constantly.
Hot streak. Supercharged.
My brain is supercharged with Skylanders all the time. But being able to actually traverse air, sea, and land of Skylands and fully explore Skylands is a wonderful feature. It just wasn't used to my favor, but I totally understand how others enjoy it. In saying that, I know the Superchargers section has been pretty negative so far, and I keep hinting at it, is that there's too much. Or maybe there's just not enough hand-to-hand combat. That and the melee sections are just bland. Like, there's no, I don't remember any block pushing. There's no like classic Skylanders features that was in every game before. So of course it's gonna feel different. And then they have like totally different features within the game that just like, I don't even know if I'm playing Skylanders anymore. Like, it has that feel. Not to mention that I think there's only one hand-to-hand boss fight in the whole game, and it's Chaos, and it's the easiest Chaos fight in all of the games. Like, it's sad when you put it on Nightmare and the melee is no challenge at all. And then you go in a vehicle on Nightmare, and then Lord Stratosphere hits you with one lightning bolt, and then you just turn into dust. Or the darkness just destroys you with those stupid little laser things. If you know, you know. But yeah, the worst quality and the best quality is the vehicles.
Hey! Those goons are stealing our Cloud Dragon!
Now on to the final game, sadly to this day. Maybe we'll get another one. Maybe. Have hope. I don't know. But we're on Imaginators now. The best thing about Imaginators is by far having probably one of the coolest rosters in the franchise. I feel like they knew that the franchise was ending, so they just said, fuck, let's put all the iconic characters as Skylanders now, even Chaos, and make them buy them for like 20, 25 bucks a pop. But we did it. I didn't, because I didn't know this game existed until like 4 years ago. But the figures are the best build quality in the whole franchise, which it should be. You know, they consistently got better. No, that's not true. I think Trap Masters were great, and then Superchargers went down, and then, you know, Imaginators were like peak. But as for gameplay of the actual figures, because the best quality is the roster if you haven't picked up by that. And the gameplay is amazing. It's in depth. It's not as kiddie as the original. It's not button smash, fly, range attack, melee attack. Like, it's usually how it went. Now there's combos, and you have to use different moves together, pressing the same button or different buttons at the same time. Like it's pretty in depth, but it's wasted when I go into the worst part by having the most unoriginal story. It's just boring. I think everybody who's played Imaginators who's above the age of 5 said at one point while playing the game, why am I still playing this game? Like, I don't even remember what just happened. I don't really care what happens next. I just want to get done with it. Like, Imaginators' story is so dreadful, that's why I don't stream it, like replaying it. If I have to play Imaginators, I go into a beat and save file, because after you beat the actual story is where the game actually gets fun, because you can skip cutscenes, you can go to all the levels you were previously at and skip the cutscenes, you can go to the realms and arena and do a bunch of everything you've already been to, just without all the blah. And all the blah is probably the most important part of any video game, and that's a story. Other than like arcade games, because they don't have stories. This one practically didn't either. It was just boring. But I did jump a little bit. I will go back to the best quality, and that is obviously the figures, but also the Imaginator crystals. Being able to create your own Skylander is awesome. Like, I have no words. Like, that's just awesome. And some people can say, hey, it's too streamlined. They didn't give us enough options. They actually gave us more options than all the Skylanders have. Skylanders have 2 paths. For each attack, they gave us like 4 options. That's double the amount the regular Skylanders got. And also, there's almost endless combinations to how your Skylander will look. And if you have a Skylander or a creation crystal of each element, you can create a whole roster of completely different Skylanders. The only time it gets a little, it starts to drag is when you create 2 Skylanders of the same element with an Imaginary crystal. That's the only time it starts to drag. And just because it's the last game and it's Imaginators, I'm going to throw in some extra garbage. And from a content creator's perspective, and my fellow Skylanders creators and players who stream it or make videos about it can understand this, Imaginators, why'd you have to use copyrighted music? Because every time I stream it or make videos, I have to mute the music, and then it takes so much magic out of Skylanders when there's no music. You don't realize how important Skylanders music is when there is none. And speaking of lack of magic, the lack of need for Persephone in Imaginators, don't understand. SSA, you need to complete the level, grab as much gold as you can, go to the hub world, and go to Persephone. Giants, same thing, get on the ship, go to Persephone. Swap Force switched it up a little bit, but added a cool feature where randomly throughout a level, you find an upgrade pod or whatever it is, where you can upgrade there, or you go back to the hub world and upgrade from there. Trap Team, Persephone. Superchargers, Persephone. Imaginators, off. Do it yourself. That's how it feels. And it took some of the magic out of it. Because it was like, oh, I could just do this now. It was like the first time I did it, it was like, oh, this is convenient. And then like you were like, oh, I could just, that's it. Like, there's no need to go to the hub world and walk around and like enjoy it. The ambiance is like a main thing for story games, especially ones that are open world and have a hub world. You want to explore and have a reason to go everywhere. But they just stripped all the core elements of Skylanders and threw them out for Imaginators. And the biggest thing for lack of magic in Skylanders, in Imaginators, 2 words: Switch version. So that is it for this video. I haven't done a video like this in a long time, but I'm gonna tell you what, I did enjoy it, and I hope you guys did too. Let me know the best and worst things about each Skylander game in the comments below. And of course, this is my opinion. Don't get angry at me. I don't really care if you do anyways. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Let me know if I'm right, if I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, let me know why. Other than that, thank you guys for watching. I'm going to put the members on the screen in a second because I love you guys and you guys are awesome. And you guys are also like the sole reason why I was able to get myself a new mic, because my other one was broken and I couldn't make videos. So thank you guys. Huge thank you. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for coming back and watching the shorts, the videos, and live streams. And yeah, that's all I have for you guys. Thank you guys for watching. Keep saving Skylands. I'll see you guys soon.